Hello, this is the Christmas themed episode of PubShorts, episode 22. Merry Christmas, everybody. Tony, are you
Hi,
aware of the
hi, Kate.
songs, the song reference for this?
The song reference for this dates me. I mean, this is a song called "Merry Christmas, Everybody," which everybody in the UK and will know. It's one of the biggest hits of the early '70s by Slade, who were one of the most successful, most popular rock bands of the early 1970s. And even today, the song is kind of it's ubiquitous with Christmas. You can't go Christmas without hearing it at least 100 times during the Christmas period.
So, what you're saying is that you approve of my choice for the song.
I approve of every choice, but this one I particularly approve because it's a classic.
All right, intros. So, my name is Dr. KK. I'm the innovation officer at Trinka and Enago. And obviously, Tony. Tony, would you like to
Hi,
introduce
I'm
yourself?
Tony O'Rourke. Yep, I'm
Yeah.
VP for partnerships here at Enago. And I just wanted to say also welcome to this special episode of podcast of Pub Shorts, where we're going to look at how at the gifts that 2024 have brought us in terms of the world of academic and scholarly publishing. So over to you, KK, in terms of the first slide.
Tony, do you want to talk about the technology that brought you in while you're on tour or sorry, vacation?
No, ask me again.
All right, but we will talk about some technological advancements, which is our first thing. So these are the gifts that the top 8 gifts that the world has given to academic publishing in
Yeah.
2024. I'm going to start with the first gift. Tony, it's the stage is yours.
Okay, so we in this first slide, we're going to look at the technological advancements in publishing that we've seen over the last 12 months. You know, the publishing industry has seen significant technological innovation in 2024, which has enhanced the efficiency, quality, and accessibility of the publishing process. And these enhancements are streamlining workflows, improving content delivery, and making scholarly work more accessible to a global audience. Keiko, what do you think the specific things are, the things that 2024 has brought in this area?
Right. I mean, so many AI tools. I think, Tony, you yourself have explored more AI tools than ever. But the 3 things that I would like to talk about are metadata related tools and metadata enrichment. Crossref is leading. And there are some publishing platforms like Snap, which is an AI driven platform that automates manuscript formatting and submission processes, making it easier for researchers as well as publishers and journals. And there is a new sort of a collaborative cloud platform called Kotahi, and I'm still getting myself familiar with it. So these are some of the things apart from all the other technological innovation that is already there. But in 2024, these would be my highlights.
Okay, great. Should we move on to the next enhancement? So this one is one that's of a personal interest to me, is how AI is being used increasingly for enhanced research and writing. So AI continues to revolutionize research and writing, providing tools that assist scholars and researchers in producing high quality, impactful work. These AI solutions can offer advanced analytics, literature reviews, writing assistance, and as a result, hopefully, elevate academic standards. What do you think are good examples of that, KK?
Well, I mean, we don't want to advertise forcibly, but we have very like gold standard tools like the Trinka AI, which is a complete writing assistant for academic writing. Now, it's been around for a few years, right, Tony? But what has happened in 2024 that it has become better, right? And it has become the best it has ever been. And we also have the literature review platform called Enago Read. Apart from big players like Scopus having Scopus AI, which integrates AI algorithms for comprehensive literature reviews, and similarly Dimensions AI, everything is making the researcher's role primarily easier in terms of finding literature, finding things to read, and having a deep understanding, and eventually moving on to creating content. So I'm very excited. This is a big gift in the year 2024, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the one caveat in my mind about this is, you know, in the future is what's going to be the definition of a researcher. Historically, was the researcher who'd read all the literature, who understood the literature, understood the implications of the literature. How is that going to be redefined moving forward?
All right, we have the third gifts, which is very obvious. And Tony, I think you have a lot
Yeah,
to say.
well, we podcast last week, KK, where we talked about. I said I thought 2025 was going to be the year that AI in peer review was going to really explode, really happen. So we're going to look in this slide at innovations in peer review and how the peer review process is undergoing transformative change. incorporating new approaches, innovative approaches, new rigor, or enhancing rigor and transparency and efficiency. And these initiatives aim to foster a more collaborative and accountable review environment. So what do you think are good examples of that?
Well, I'll go to the biggest and the most exciting one at the last, but we have things like peer review history being published. We have collaborative peer review platforms. We have things like the reviewer GPT, which is actually a custom GPT that you could find on the Open AI store, which sort of started how if researchers could interact and have their own reviews done in a sort of a refined manner. But then, Tony, we recently talked about a chat GPT based or Open AI based plugin which lets you annotate manuscripts. So annotate GPT, that's another thing. And Tony, we are about to enter the era of peer review automation with the use of LLMs and artificial intelligence agents. So these have hit us and these are going to evolve. And I think these are very important steps sort of in terms of
Yeah.
improving the peer review automation
And
systems.
let me say, I should also add a little ad break here. Let's not forget also we've got the Enago peer review assistant, which is coming out in 2025, which we hope is going to really transform and support the work that reviewers do.
Excellent. So we have the fourth gift, which is
the fourth. Open access is interesting. I've been in academic publishing for over 25 years. And open access was a thing back then. Open access was a thing when I joined the Institute of Physics in 1999. We launched some of the earliest open access journals, and it's still very much the theme of the day. Open access initiatives are making scholarly research more accessible and equitable, breaking down barriers to information and fostering a more inclusive academic community. And these efforts promote the free dissemination of knowledge without necessarily compromising quality. So what do you, from your perspective, KK, what do you think are good examples of what's happened this year that support that?
I want to ask you this. I consider transformative agreements as a big thing that has sort of been talked about and that it's come as a gift. Do you consider this as an open access related gift in the context of open access?
Transformative agreements absolutely were an open access related gift. And then not new to 2024, but there's some of the really big announcements that have happened in 2024. For example, the announcement in India, for example, to make something like 15,000, 14,000 academic journals openly available to every single university or state-funded researcher in India. I think it's a wonderful development.
And we have things like the open access switchboard, which connects researchers with open access journals as well as funding opportunities. We have the Royal Society Open Access Equity Scheme and, many more diamond open access journals. So a lot of things happening, a lot of open access supporting platforms like the preprint servers also being automated with the help of innovation and technology. So a lot of things, good things happening in open access. I believe that we are going the right way and a lot of good things have happened in open access. So I'm moving on to the next point, Tony, which is transparency and trust.
Yeah, so this is about increasing transparency and accountability in scholarly publishing, which is absolutely essential for building trust within the research community. Trust is everything in research publishing. Initiatives in 2024 focus on open processes and clear policies to ensure the integrity of published work. So what are good examples of this? And I can think of several off the top of my head, but what do you think the examples are?
I would say that the problematic paper scanner, which has come up in so many instances, right? It keeps on giving. There are paper mill detection tools. There are image manipulation tools that are becoming better and better. And there are things like the STM Integrity Hub, which is sort of putting it all together. I could just go on, Tony, but what are some of the things that I have not covered that are sort of you consider as points?
Well, I think things like the paper mill alarms, for example, the tool that detects signals from paper mill activity, that's such an important tool. I'll also repeat something you said about the STM Integrity Hub. STM is such an important organization in the field of scholarly publishing, in scholarly communication, scholarly publishing. And if they get behind something, then you can be certain it's going to deliver real quality to both researchers and to publishers.
So the next gift that we have, Tony, is the improved focus on quality and integrity. Right?
Yeah, this is around how how 2024 has seen drives to really push and strive for high standards of research integrity and publication quality, which is so important that those integrity issues are being addressed. In 2024, we've seen a lot of new tools and systems developed to uphold some of these processes. What do you think are good examples?
So the one that I can think of that I've heard a lot about are things like clear skies and signals, which capture a lot of metadata information regarding if, integrity of the research process itself. There are application platforms like, for example, the image manipulation detection tools. There are things like the proposal for the publication's fact label. If you remember, Tony, we talked about this a few. It's like a food label. People are talking about it, and despite the continuing problem of publish or perish, there is more focus on the improvement of quality in the published manuscripts, as well as improvements via AI automation in the field of peer review.
And one thing to add to that, I think, KK, is I welcome the, although this might sound slightly contradictory, I do welcome the increase in the number of retracted papers, because what it's doing is showing the research community that the publishing industry is taking the whole integrity issue extremely seriously and will not hold back, and will not restrict in any way removing content which it considers to be potentially problematic or even fraudulent. I can only see that increasing. But so congratulations to the publishers that continue to do that and really monitor that.
Yeah, and the seventh gift is more of a stress in equity and inclusion in publishing overall.
Yes,
Tony?
this is around the efforts that promote equity and inclusion in scholarly publishing. They are gaining momentum, addressing disparities and ensuring that all voices are represented. This is this is there to create a more diverse and inclusive academic landscape. Your thoughts?
So my source would be, look, I was not aware of the global south, the problems, the underrepresentation of the global south until 2024, and there are a lot of initiatives to increase their representation, apart from increase representation for other like non-English as first language or English as second language researchers, improving accessibility in terms of AI tools. People can now talk to ChatGPT in their own languages, if they wanted to, and they can get. So that's one way to look at it. Then we have more of stress for underrepresented regions and things like, again, the Royal Society Open Access Equity Scheme. These are all things that have been brought to focus, I guess, more focused on in 2024. So I'm really excited in terms of where we are going.
And as I said, I've worked in academic publishing for a long time, and I've seen those sorts of those. I think that unconscious bias is actually taking place. The fact that an author from the global south may find it more difficult to get their paper accepted for whatever reason. And there was gender biases, regional biases. So what I welcome is the fact that more efforts are being made to try and create that kind of neutrality in the system. So regardless of the background, regardless of the location, regardless of the gender, sexuality, whatever of the author, the content has been decided on the merit of the content itself. So I welcome these systems which will encourage and develop these processes, so that bias is increasingly going away.
And Tony, we are at our final gift, which is improved
Yes.
and accessible AI. I would like you to take the lead.
So this is about the availability of AI tools in 2024. The increasing availability. I mean, from my own perspective, if you'd asked me 12 months ago, what AI tools do you have on your phone or on your computer, I probably would have said, well, to be honest, probably none. But now I've got so many different tools, whether it's ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever it might be, Notebook LM, available to me that I didn't have 12 months ago. So these tools are supporting inputs from lots of different modes and lots of different outputs, offer improved quality, which include things like large language models and AI agents, and expand the creative possibilities for researchers and publishers alike. Your thoughts?
I think the gift that I would like to sort of I think this is also a personal sort of a gift that I've received during 2024 is the multimodality of AI. Right now, I'm very comfortable in having a long conversation with Gemini or Claude for breaking down some of the problems that I'm working on, whatever it might be, and it gives me creative ideas. I'm not trusting it fully, but the multimodality, so that I can talk to it. It is a very sort of human-like conversation, but also I can give it images to parse and help me or create content accordingly. So multimodality goes both ways. they're all accessible, and just in the last couple of weeks there are new models and things like the OpenAI Sora, sorry, Sora, the image video generation model. And we are just entering the era of AI agents, which in my personal opinion, they are going to take over, and they are going to give us even better quality in terms of output. So this, in my opinion, is the one gift. If suppose there is one thing that I would like to talk about as a gift, this is it. You agree with this, Tony?
I completely agree, KK. In fact, when I first saw this slide, I was wondering whether you were talking about things like accessibility, and some of those issues are being addressed as well in terms of how you can make content available to visually impaired users, for
Mm-hmm.
example. Oh, I absolutely agree with you.
Right. And that brings us, Tony, to the end of our gifts. The number of,
Yes.
but before we leave, I'm going to ask you, Tony, for you in 2024, what are the gifts that you've received? It needn't be a physical gift, whatever it is. I mean, you've already talked about AI. Are there other things that you would consider as gifts that the life has given you?
Um, Continued good health, a stable home, a great family, and a great organisation to work with at Crimson.
Excellent. So I have actually, when I was thinking about it, I have three things that I would like to talk about. One obviously is a tool that I think I would encourage everybody to use. If you use Obsidian, there is a new Obsidian web clipper plugin which really helps you to sort of organize. So Obsidian, Tony, is a personal knowledge management
Yeah.
sort of a system, and it's, you can call it note taking, but some of the research that I do even for PubShorts is through that, and to sort of take content from the web, which is how we access content, and then to process it and to make it into things. I send you some of the notes of during my research, so that we can do such content. So that's one thing. Then, Tony, I have restarted my love with sketching and drawing, etc. So I've got some brush pens from Uniball. I've been buying these. So this is a beautiful brush pen. It's a fine brush pen, and I've been enjoying it. And the last thing is behind me. It's my new Yamaha. That guitar is also something that, I mean, I've been missing Yamahas for a while. I started with the Yamaha, then I had to move to other brands, but currently I love this Yamaha. So these are my three gifts of the year 2024. I mean, one of them is related to what we talked about. The other two are personal. So would you consider 2024 as a sort of a wholesome year for you, and as well as for the publishing industry?
I think it's been an interesting, it's been a challenging year, you know, but overall it's been a very positive year. Lots of new relationships that we've been developing with publishers, with researchers, with universities, and we hope that will continue in 2025.
Right, Tony. Christmas is about to, as in Christmas days, is about to happen. So, what are your plans for Christmas? Do you have anything that you would like to share?
Uh, no, Christmas is all about family, and I'm spending as much time with Christmas with my family as I can.
Right, and if somebody were to, oh, did you ask me what my plans
And
were?
what you do?
I am planning to go to a close friends open, sort of a open door invitation Christmas Eve party. I believe that's the last time this friend will be in India. He's from Norway, and he's moving back, and I'm looking forward to spending Christmas Eve with him and a bunch of other friends. So that's my.
Right.
So I was about to ask you, Tony, if somebody were seeing PubShorts for the first time, where can they find more about PubShorts or Inago or Trinka or Tony?
Lots of different places to find out about PubShots. Just go to LinkedIn or to YouTube. Search PubShorts Enago, and you'll find the PubShorts page with all the videos on there. There's, I think, 21 now, 22. There's quite a lot of videos on there. You can contact me at tonio@enago.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn, and KK also.
Right. And if you're watching this as a view on demand on YouTube on the Inago channel, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification icon. And if you find the content interesting, please share it with your
And
friends and
send
colleagues.
comments. We welcome your comments, as many
Yes.
comments as possible. Send us
Yeah.
ideas for future topics.
Yes, yes. And so that brings us, Tony, to the end of Pop Shots episode number 22. Merry Christmas, everybody. So until the next time, on behalf of everybody who helps us bring such content to you, and on behalf of Tony, this is bye from Dr. KK. Merry Christmas, everyone, and Merry
Happy holidays,
Christmas.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.